Just like every trading card game, the Pokemon trading card game is constantly changing. This change can happen overnight. Most of the standard changing comes just from the constant flood of new sets and rotations every couple months. For a new player, all of the constant modifications of the tournament format can be confusing, especially when considering every new set has anywhere from around 90 cards to a max of 150 cards. Although, in reality, only 20 or so of these cards are actually playable. But even though only a few of the actual cards are ever playable, even less of those have the possibility of changing the format instantly. So, what are some of these cards? Here's my opinion and my top 10 most game-changing cards in the black and white format. Number 10. Professor Juniper. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Professor Juniper is so consistent that basically every single deck runs it. Wanna run Donphan? You'll need 4 Juniper. What about Night March? 4 Juniper. Yveltal Darkrai? 4 Professor Juniper. Seriously, this card would be so expensive if it hadn't been reprinted 3 times. Not to mention, Professor Sycamore is also out, which does exactly the same thing. Number 9. Durant. This one goes way back to 2012. The new stat was Noble Victories, and the metagame was mostly the Outraged Dragons. Durant was one of the only cards ever being successful, and won the game instead of knocking out Pokemon and taking prize cards. Number 8. Icelagor, Trevenant, or Gothitelle. These 3 cards will likely bring up some very bad memories for people. Aw, Icelagor, Gothitelle. Probably the trolliest deck of them all. Seriously, what were people thinking when they created these cards? So we got this Icelagor card that, deck and cover that paralysis and shuffle into deck, and then we let this trainer out card so then you can switch. Why Pokemon? If people don't like troll decks enough. Number 7. Sigilyph and Suicune. When the new EXs were released, people knew the new EXs would be very competitive. And by adding Sigilyph in the format, EX decks were balanced out a little bit. Number 6. Garbodor. Considered a troll card, Garbodor is resented by many trainers. Yet, Garbodor is still no match for the all-evil Icelagor. Still, shutting down abilities is a very big part of the game, and I will miss Garbodor when he rotates out. Number 5. Hypnotoxic Laser. What can I say? This card can be explained by one word and one word only. Overpowered. Luckily, with the recently new ban card, this card has been balanced out a little bit. Whether you still use Laser, or you don't use it anymore, you liked it a lot, or you resented it a lot, it seemed whenever your active Pokemon was lasered, you would always be asleep when it was your turn. Number 4. Muscle Band. Muscle Band is pretty simple. It adds 20 damage to any Pokemon's attacks. Muscle Band to Wailord, 20 extra damage. Muscle Band and Yveltal, 20 extra damage. Start to see the pattern? Muscle Band made very many new Pokemon cards playable. Number 3. Darkrai EX. Free Retreat is good. Everyone knows that. Darkrai EX would have been just decent with the ability alone. With all the Dark type support during Dark Explorers, this card was really good. With Darkrai's attack that does 90 damage, plus 30 extra damage snipe, wasn't enough? Dark Claw and Dark Patch made Darkrai EX a speedy and powerful card. Darkrai EX, you will be deeply missed with the new rotation. Pokemon, I tell you, this will not be the end. I tell you! Number 2. Pokemon Catcher. Quite an interesting card. Pokemon Catcher had allowed the user of the card to choose any Pokemon on their opponent's bench and switch it out with their active Pokemon. But after the new errata, the card now requires a coin flip or a die roll. The weird thing is that the card was not that overpowered at the time of its initial release, but when the new EXs came out into the format, everything changed. By the time X Destinies had come out, Mewtwo EX was immediately popular. And since Mewtwo EX was weak to Psychic, going up against another Psychic Pokemon, usually another Mewtwo EX, it could be knocked out very easily. Pokemon Catcher didn't make this situation any better by allowing Mewtwo EX, and any EX for that matter, to be hit with its weakness for usually a one-hit knockout for a whopping 2 prize cards. Number 1. Mewtwo EX. I'm assuming quite a lot of you were guessing that this card was going to be number 1. Mewtwo EX has been one of the best EXs for sure, and it was definitely the first EX to be highly competitive. Pretty much the competitive scene for the first 3 or 4 months after Next Destinies came out, Mewtwo EX decks were the only thing pretty much ever played. It was completely crazy. Mewtwo EX with a double colorless energy could knock out another Mewtwo EX with 3 energy attached to it. The competitive scene became pretty much bench a Mewtwo EX, attach double colorless energy to the Mewtwo EX, switch the Mewtwo EX in, and attack the opponent's active Pokemon, usually another Mewtwo EX, for at least 80 damage. Then, the next turn, the opponent would attach a double colorless energy to their Mewtwo EX and bounce back with even more damage on the other Mewtwo EX. Overall, Mewtwo EX proved that the new EXs would be very different from their prehistoric ancestors. Seriously? 80 HP for an EX? You've got to be kidding me. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate every subscribe, like, and comment. I want to know what your top 10 list is, so comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit that like button, subscribe for more top 10s. And as always, I will catch you guys later in the next video.